Virtual Financial Team Prosperity Introductory Overview to Using LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great asset for you online for networking, for producing and engaging with content, for building a network, for lead generation. It all has immense value if you learn how to extract the value from the platform and from the site. So today what we're going to go through is over some basics of how to use LinkedIn. First of all, what you need to understand is for the activity, the posting, there's a few different ways that you can post. So when you click here to start a post, you can obviously start an original post right here, comment, thought, question, poll, whatever it is that you wanted to do. Outside of that, you also have the ability to what we call recycle content. A couple areas of concentration here is the camera. Camera will allow you to upload any picture that you have saved to a file folder. One of the easiest ways if you're just starting with LinkedIn is just to recycle things that already exist. We do have a YouTube video on producing personalized meme and content. However, for the purposes of this video, we're going to talk about recycling. So anytime that you're at a Google search and we search for entrepreneur quotes here, you can see that we usually get the typical listings. Somewhere, usually it's the second choice, is images. When you click on this, it's going to take you to same search, but it's all the images associated with that search. So if I wanted to, for example, use this meme as a post, then I could save picture as to a file folder and pull it back up on LinkedIn. So let's say that I save that, and I'm back over here at LinkedIn. Now, when I click on the camera icon, it's going to take me to where I can go ahead and pull up whatever it is. The last thing that I saved is going to be the first under quick access, so I open that, and this is it. If this is what we wanted to post, we hit next. Now remember, you've always got this top white space, or what I call this white billboard, to put anything you want on there. Take advantage of it. If you want to put links to sites, a link to your blog, if you want to put a thought, command action, question, insight, whatever it is that you want, you've always got the ability to do that. So that's posting memes or pictures. Now, if you wanted to upload a video that you had saved, it would be the same deal. You would click on that camera, video recorder icon. You would find the video that you wanted. You would upload it, and you would still have the white space to put whatever it is that you wanted to put on there. With the articles, you can search for articles. What I actually like to do is set up Google Alert keywords. And that's google.com/alerts. You can set up keywords that you either want to see content being delivered to you, or if it's relevant content to your industry, your business, your sector, that you might want to reshare. When you do that, you'll get these alerts every day with the Google alert for the keyword that you have listed. We're just going to take this top article here, and we're going to open it. Now, if this was an article we actually wanted to use, then we can just highlight the URL. We can go ahead and copy that URL, and we can go back to our LinkedIn settings, and we can paste that URL. And what's going to happen is it's going to take a minute, cycle through, pull up the article that we want. Once it's actually there, you can erase that URL, and you have that top, once again, white space or billboard. Type in whatever it is that you want. Also, going back to the video content, if you wanted to share a video from YouTube, then once you actually select the video that you wanted to view and use, once you actually pull it up, of course it's got that intro commercial or ad time. Let that circulate through, skip the ad, and then once you're actually here, you can just right-click. First selection is copy video URL. You go ahead and do that. And then right back over here, like we were posting the article, we're going to post the URL for the YouTube video. As soon as it finds the video, circulates through and populates, you can erase, and you have that top, once again, that white space or billboard to put whatever it is that you want. So once again, posting, a regular entry, an article, a meme, a video is something that you should get used to doing on a daily basis. Now, another advantage of LinkedIn content is the ability to produce your own content. So where we started a post originally, right below there is write an article on LinkedIn. When you click on this, actually takes you to their menu where you can start writing original content, headlines, pictures, links. You can write, whatever it is that you want. If you could get into the habit of, 1 to 2 original content articles a month, that would be something that activity would greatly benefit your ability to grow your audience, engage your audience, and influence your audience, because typically what happens is when we are posting, those posts are only going to last so long. It's going to go through your feed, other feeds, and then it's going to basically disappear after a while. When you write original articles and content, it's going to stay in your profile forever. So not only can people see the new articles that you put out, the new content, but they can actually get access to the library of the old inventory as well. So posting is definitely something that you want to understand how to do and start to do on a daily basis, with the ultimate goal to get more in the habit of producing original content, original articles on LinkedIn. Now, let's go to the second part of this video today, which is the activity. What do I do on LinkedIn? What do I need to keep track of on LinkedIn? And that's really going to come from your navigation bar right here. You can see we have the home, my network, jobs, messaging, and notification. My network is going to take you to a list of people who have seen your profile and they want to connect with you. If that's the case, I have a couple rules of thumb that I follow when I'm accepting connections. Number one, they have to have a picture. They haven't taken the time to put a picture on their profile. They haven't taken enough time with their profile, in my opinion, to add them to my network. Second of all, you want to make sure that this is somebody that actually fits into the profile of the typical person that you're wanting to build a network around. So she is a media CEO, founder and CEO, and she's from the U.S. Now, the only reason I keep it to the U.S. is because my business is in the U.S. As my business expands outside of the 50 states, I will start to accept other connections. But for right now, I use LinkedIn heavy for business purposes, so therefore I want to keep it to the U.S. So this is somebody that I would, like we talked about, it fits into the profile of somebody I'm looking to add to my connection, so I would accept that connection request. Going back over here, you can see that if there's no picture, I ignore that. So you want to go through, once a day or so and see who's trying to connect back with you, accept the ones that you don't, or accept the ones that you do want, ignore the ones that you do not want. Now, the next part of the navigation bar that you need to be aware of is messaging. These are people that are either reaching out to you or they're replying to something that you sent. So you want to make sure that you take care of that on a daily basis. If you do not, what happens is the messages really start to pile up, and instead of becoming a small task, it becomes a big part of your day. So you want to revisit LinkedIn or visit LinkedIn once or twice a day, get the stuff done that you need to get done. This right here will allow you to separate your messages, and I just go to unread, and I just go down the line. And I just answer the messages that need to be answered. So once again, messaging, unread messages will allow you to quickly see what you need to address in your message box. And then over here, notifications. This is essentially a reminder of what's going on with either your post or other posts that you commented on, engaged, shared. It's all right here. So once again, if you are going to your notifications once or twice a day and doing what you need to do, this is a very easy, routine, second nature task. If you don't visit your LinkedIn daily, it starts to pile up, and this becomes a much, much harder task to do. So you can see here, people are commenting, replying to your comments, replying to articles, memes, videos that you've shared. So this is, once again, your notifications on what you need to be alerted to that you might need to further engage, react, comment, whatever it might be. So this navigation bar right here is going to allow you to see who's wanting to become in your network, the messages that you need to reply or respond back to, notifications of what's going on in your profile, in your network that you need to be aware of. Now, outside of the navigation bar, what I need to do, I also use on a daily basis the search. Now, when I'm searching for people, I'm searching for groups, I'm searching for content, and I use that to, once again, build, engage, message, all of these typical things that we just went through. it really starts with the search bar. So let's type in a search for entrepreneur. And then when we search for entrepreneur, you can see that we've got some choices here. First thing we can search for is people. I use this for two reasons. Number one is to try to add connections to my existing audience. So if I do that, I want to set up a filter. First connections I'm already connected with. Third plus mean I have no common connections, so I keep it to second. So I'll establish a filter there. And then once again, we just talked about keep it in the US, and I apply that. Now these are all people that have entrepreneur in their byline, the headline. They've established themselves as an entrepreneur. Now the other thing that it makes sure it's in the US. These are second connections, meaning that I have common connections, 33, 316, 207. So I can go through and I can add connection requests to send to these people in hopes that they will respond back, add me to their connections so we can be connected as first connections. So once again, you can just roll through, connect with as many people as you choose to on a daily basis. Now, outside of adding new connections, you can also speak directly or segment directly your first connection. So once again, we're keeping the same keyword, entrepreneur. We're searching for people in the US, but now we're searching for first connections. These are existing connections in my network that I'm already connected with that I can now start to segment and speak to directly as whatever that keyword. So if I wanted to send a direct message to my first connections who are entrepreneurs, speaking to them as an entrepreneur, asking them questions, getting conversations started. It's a great way, instead of just throwing out blanketed messages to people to open conversations, great way to target people as an entrepreneur, as a real estate agent, as a digital marketer, as a network entrepreneur, whatever it might be, and you can speak directly to them with some messages that open conversations to see if either side can do anything for the other side that might be mutually beneficial. So adding new connections, messaging your first connections are a great way to use the search bar. Now going back over to home, to clear that out, we're going to use the same search for entrepreneur that we did, but this time we're not going to go to people, we're actually going to go to content. Now this is good to search for content that's related to your business, your industry, your sector, to have the opportunity to engage with those people who already replied or engage with that article, that meme, that video, whatever it might be. So as you're scrolling through here, this is all stuff that has to do with entrepreneur. Now, another way that you can search for related content is to just put a hashtag in front of that. So hashtag entrepreneur, when you search for that, if I was not following that hashtag, it would see, or it would ask me if I wanted to start following that hashtag. So you want to get a good group of hashtags that are relevant to what you do, what your personal brand is, what your company brand is, and start finding ways to interact through that hashtag to, once again, build your audience, engage with your audience, eventually influence your audience to extract value out of this site. So those are the ways that you can search for content, either directly by the keyword or through the hashtag. Now, you want to, like I said, search for relevant material through the keyword or through the hashtag and start engaging with some of that material, with some of those people, to try to draw them into your audience and eventually, hopefully, build mutually beneficial relationships. Now, when you are talking about engaging, it's important that you understand there are different types of engagement that we're going to get into in just a minute, but the overview, you can like something, you can share something, you can comment on something. Those are the typical ones. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. The last thing that I wanted to show you on the search bar, going back to home, keeping that exact same search, entrepreneur, just to make it easy to follow. We're not going to go for people. We're not going to go for content. We're going to go to the more. And we're going to drop this down and go to groups. Now, these are all the groups that are associated with our key term, which is entrepreneur. So when you see this, first one that pulls up is Entrepreneur Magazine. When I click on this, if I was not a member of Entrepreneur Magazine, box would come up, request to join Entrepreneur Magazine. And then you would request to join, the moderator would approve you, and then you would have access. Once you're a member, I am a member of Entrepreneur Magazine, I have the ability to do some things inside these groups. A is communicate, engage within the group. I have the ability to post things within the group, but I also have the ability to access their 88,000 members. So when you actually click on this, it takes you to a list of the members. So even though I'm not connected, I have the ability to start to reach out to these people. So I could reach out to Andrea and say, hey, Andrea, we're both members of Entrepreneur Magazine. Wanted to add you as a first connection. Want to reach out and make sure that's okay. Or I could reach out to her directly. Hey, Andrea, we're both members of Entrepreneur Magazine. Wanted to see if you had any expansion or partnership plans for this year. Let me know. And so those are great ways to get access to big groups of people, like-minded people, to either add to your network or start to engage with them through the actual group. Now, going back to the engagement, it's important that you have activity, and it's important that you learn how to produce original content, whether that's the articles on LinkedIn or content that you created that you're posting. Outside of producing content, the other way is to engage with existing content. And you can do that in a few different ways. We talked about using the search bar to look for content or to look for relevant hashtags. Another way that you can find things to engage or comment on, a couple places. Over here, when you log in, you're always going to have what people are talking about now. This is the most popular stuff that's filtering through the feed right now. It's a great way to jump into some of these conversations, put what we call your 2 cents in, and then as time goes by, if you have that daily activity, the engagement, you're putting out thoughtful comments, we always talk about it's going to streamline back down into people asking to join your network, people asking you questions, you inserting your influence over groups of people over time. Outside of what people are talking about and outside of the search bar, you also have your followed hashtags. As you follow a hashtag, they will start to show up here on your recent searches, your groups that you're members of, and your followed hashtags. These are great ways. When you click on this, it'll just take you straight to the things that are trending for that hashtag. And once again, it's a great way to go in and find stuff that's relevant to who you are, what you do, what your business or your model is about, and attract like-minded people through comments, through engagement to fuel the rest of this growth on this platform. Now let's, for the remainder of the time, talk about some different types of ways that you can create some engagement with other people. Number one is the endorsements. And let me go over here. Anybody who's set up special skills in their profile, you have the skills and endorsement. So you could go in and initiate an endorsement to somebody else, endorse them for something. They'll get in their notifications, their activity, they'll get a notification that says that you endorse them for such and such. They'll usually say thanks, reciprocate the endorsement. Great way, very positive way to open conversations, build a network, build relationships. Outside of the endorsements, you can also use recommendations as a way to stand out. So right here, below the endorsements are the recommendations. So you can ask for recommendations, you can give recommendations, and this is something that you should definitely be working on as you go forward. The more stuff that you have on your profile, the more endorsements that you have, the more recommendations, the more badges, it makes your profile stand out. And when you stand out above the crowd, puts you into a separate category where people take you more seriously, they reach out to you, they start to ask you questions, they want to know more about you, your personal brand, your company brand, etc. So the endorsements, the recommendations are great things. And then over here, call this the Rubik's Cube over here. When you click on this, it takes you to a list of more products over here. So it's a little bit cut off, but you can see over here learning. When you click on this, it takes you to the LinkedIn Learning Center. And from that, you can start to enroll in different classes. And when you complete some of these classes, you get what's called a LinkedIn badge for that particular class. Now, a lot of the other certifications, the badges that you pick up outside of LinkedIn, they have expiration dates. Maybe they're good for 12 months. These do not expire. So it's a great way to get a lot of badges on your profile, which once again helps you, rise above the rest of the crowd here and make your profile and your image and your message a little bit more powerful to the general public. Outside of the Learning Center, you've also got the ability to advertise, create advertisements, and then through insights, learn more about the audience, tailor fit audience, create copycat audiences for further advertisements. Now, the good thing about their advertising center is you can actually go in and work with it, create ads, play with the ads, and you don't actually have to pay for it or enter a credit card until it's actually time to run the ad. So as far as going in there, creating ads, learning about that advertising environment, it's free. So you can go in there and start to really get used to what they have. And they have different types of ads that work different areas. They've got the sponsored ads, the text ads, the in-mail ads, a lot of different things that you can do, and you can set budgets very low to test. Once things start to work, increase the budget to scale the results. That's exactly what you want to be doing in the beginning. It's not just blindly throwing money at advertisement for social media, but starting with small budgets, getting your analytics, finding out what's working, what's not working, and then we actually find something that works, put some extra money in there to scale that and up those results that you're looking for. If you use LinkedIn and you continue to educate yourself on LinkedIn over the period of the next coming weeks and months, you should find that it becomes a powerhouse asset for you in terms of your ability to go out, meet new people, talk to new people, engage with new people, communicate with existing people, and then ultimately, like we talk about, through the activity, through the engagement, through the original content, being able to influence that audience over a period of time and start to extract the value back that you're looking for in terms of lead generation, business partnerships, sales, etc.